Hi, this is the Ivy League Astrologer with the April 2015 reading for Vedic Taurus. Please do check your signs at galacticcenter.org or another Vedic chart calculator because Vedic signs are different than Western signs, so it's good to know the info. And there's more about that in the box down below. Okay, so for Taurus for April 2015, the first card out is the Moon card. Feels to me like an old issue is being addressed, but it's being addressed somewhat obliquely, and you need more clarity on this issue. Yeah, there's some old stuff that's coming up to be sort of corrected. But it's like the message is getting kind of muffled along the way or lost along the way a little bit. I think the intention is to be direct even, but I think that there's other sort of like red herring issues that seem to be kind of blocking the flow of communication. And this may be a pretty painful issue that's caused some tears to be shed on your part or on the other parties. But I think that the aim here is to really like set a through line, like to really clear the air and clear both parties of attachment to one another and of attachment to this past issue, and kind of raise it up so that everyone can kind of like part in a dignified manner. But again, I think that the issue is not fully cleared. I think there's part of it that needs to be returned to in order for it to reach a closure that really is fair and just. Because I think the intention is justice here, but there may be some things that still need to be attended to. And it may require a period of introspection on your part or on the other person's part before this issue can kind of come back to be like really healed. I think the danger is this period of introspection may kind of come up as like going back to the status quo. You know, like if this is someone that you've been in contention with and they refuse to speak to you or you refuse to speak to them, this period of kind of going away to think may be taken as kind of a return to that like cutting off. But I think it really is a healing period to kind of like look at the issue, you know, to look at why this issue keeps happening or why this can't be resolved just yet. And I think that this person is going to resolve it, whoever kind of needs to walk away. I feel like they're going to resolve it within themselves fairly quickly and get kind of, and open up a little bit about how to approach this issue. Because I feel like maybe one person has been, you know, everybody gets stuck in their own perspective, but it's like someone who's been stuck in their own perspective suddenly kind of gets the other person's perspective, which will allow communication to improve. And someone may communicate this new openness. But somehow it may not be enough to heal the breach, or it may not be enough to like truly bring these parties together. Because right now the new start for whatever this is a little stuck. And a victory is sort of just not possible right now. So it needs some time to kind of balance itself out. It's like this feeling of fullness that this person kind of retreats to find is going to aid this in eventually coming together and coming to a positive resolution that feels at the gut level like the right thing, you know? But that's still a ways off in the distance. There's still things that need to be balanced before that can happen. And for right now, again, communication may be kind of a stop, start, or kind of cut off for a bit. Someone may be just kind of being reserved with their emotions, being sort of secretly emotional in private or something, mulling it over, but keeping their cards close to the chest. But there is movement on the issue, is what I see. There is sort of like a slow procession, a slow movement to bring these two kind of injured parties or separated parties healing. But yeah, there's nothing you can really offer here. You can't make any big offers to kind of heal this or speed this along. I feel like the other party, or it could be you, is just not ready to see the full picture. Like, they will be in time, but right now they're just not ready. So try to avoid forcing that realization upon them. I think it's kind of trickling in. Yeah, I think you and this other person are getting in line more and more. Like, they're getting what you're saying more and more. And I think the important thing here is to realize that you do have some control over how this proceeds. Whenever things get really intense with someone else, we can sometimes feel like it's like a runaway train, you know, there's just nothing we can do about it. But I think you're really being urged to see what you can do to make this more bright, make it more beautiful, make it more calm, and how to use all your resources, like your incisive words, your love, your willingness to work on it, and your faith. Like, how to use all those things to kind of make it a brighter place, make it a brighter world. But again, this is mostly on the level of like, just like within yourself or planning, you know, it's not so much about like making that offer, because it looks to me like there's something that needs to kind of come apart for the other party before you can really fully get there. So, you know, it's a time of kind of guided visualization, almost. And this may also be having strength if you don't get the response back from the other party that you would like, you know, and know that if that happens, it's because they are still kind of laboring under an illusion. Like, part of it is falling away for them, but part of it is still intact, and they need to, like, it all needs to break down. And you're like a key in that for them, and I feel like that's why they're giving you resistance, but really it's something within themselves that they need to let go of, but it's something that's difficult for them to release because it's an old habit or way of being or sense of value that needs to kind of crumble away for them to get kind of more in line with both where you are and where like a lot of wisdom is for them. Yeah, for a lot of people, I think this is about getting back on track with like an old thing or with an old, you know, person, relationship, whatever. It's a lot of, yeah, it's just a lot of energy of healing this month, of going back to go forward. But I think not only that, I really think it's about personal growth for either you or for this other person. Really looking at the framework of your life, or them looking at the framework of their lives and the contents of it. but how the framework creates the contents, you know, and it's time for them to sort of change their framework, but they're just starting to like open their minds to that. They're just starting to let that idea in, and it's potent, but it's still a little scary. So they're not fully turned towards it yet. So kind of don't get your hopes up about this transformation being lickety split. You know, it's something that it's going to take time. But yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of positivity when that happens. A lot of things that will be mended and knit back together, and sort of like family groups coming together is kind of what I'm seeing also. So yeah, I think now is not the time to reap that, but I think that this month is movement towards that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for April 2015 Taurus. I hope that's helpful. And please do get in touch if you'd like a personal reading. My information is below. And yeah, happy April. We made it to spring. Yay. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.